Hey everyone, Jesse here with parkbench.com. Today I have the pleasure of interviewing Ben Graham, real estate agent with Graham Group and local leader of the greater Ocotillo area of Chandler, Arizona. Hi there, Ben. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us today.
Sure.
So, why don't we get started by finding out why did you first decide to become a real estate agent?
Well, it all right out of college. Let me start there. I read a fantastic book, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, that opened my mind to kind of a different way to see and view the world and do business. So I had two college degrees, but there was always this fire burning inside me to be an investor, to be in real estate, a business owner. Fast forward, worked for the Gallo Winery for a number of years, one of their top sales reps in the state, and then that itch just kept burning. I learned more and more about investing in real estate and owning real estate. And fast forward, I slid over into that career for some personal reasons. Wanted to move back, get out of the corporate world, but more importantly, because I believed in the product of real estate, both as a homeowner and a real estate investor. So that's really my chief aim now, is to acquire more real estate for my own portfolio as far as an investment side, and also help my clients build wealth through real estate, whether it's just for their own home or through their investment portfolio.
Amazing. Well, it definitely sounds like you're passionate about what you do. That's a very important part of the process. So,
Yeah,
what is it that really makes you stand out as an agent?
sure. It's a good question, tough question. So I'll try to answer it like this: is here in Arizona, there's nearly 50,000 real estate agents. I mean, you could literally throw a golf ball, a lot of golf courses here, and hit a real estate agent quite easily. But that being said, is they're all different, and that's good, and it can be bad. It can be challenging how to figure out who the right agent is. So what sets me apart is, one, 10 years experience in the business as of the filming of this video. Not many agents can say that. And I've had the pleasure of helping hundreds of clients buy and or sell. So I've sat at hundreds of kitchen tables walking through the process. And that's not something that you're going to get with maybe your next door neighbor, your friend, your cousin Vinny, or whoever it may be. You want somebody with experience. And thankfully, a lot of folks have entrusted me. So I've built, nearly a decade now of experience. And you can see all those reviews written on Zillow and Google, hundreds of 5-star reviews there. So again, when you're choosing an agent, look for somebody that knows what they're doing, because it's quite frankly, again, at the filming of this video, it's easy to sell a home, easy, but it's not necessarily easy to negotiate the best offer, the best terms, you know, the highest price that actually is going to get closed, that kind of thing. So again, my job is not just to sell a home, it's to help you, again, going back to the first question you asked about building wealth, whether that's buying a home, buying it at the right price, selling a home, selling it at the right price with the right terms, that kind of thing. So I always tell people, I'll lay out everything. Like, I'm not wearing sleeves now, but like that's kind of a metaphor for like how I run my business, is like I'll say everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, to help you ultimately make a decision. I want to partner with you to help guide you through the process.
That's amazing. I think being able to trust the agent that you choose to work with is such an integral part of the process. And it really shows that you've got the experience that people can truly trust. So, with all of that experience, because it sounds like you have loads of it, do you have any like memorable experiences you can think of working with clients?
Well, they're all memorable. I feel like that's my like disclaimer, right? They're all unique, they're all special, and that's one of the reasons I love this business. Is every day I wake up not fully knowing what to expect, which is really neat, but can also be challenging too. So that being said, is I'm trying to think of the craziest story. The funniest one that comes to mind is years ago. I was helping a sweet little old lady prepare her home for sale. It was a, dare I say, big mansion up in North Scottsdale, and it was just her. And so I said, hey, you know what, Ben, I got to go help her prepare for photos. So I went up there and I was kind of tidying up her house with her, and working with a photographer on where to move stuff. And I was up on her sun deck right above her house, and I looked down on her pool. I mean, again, gorgeous views across the entire desert. I looked down on her pool and I see a red bikini at the bottom of the pool. I'm thinking, okay, well, that's awesome. Good for her. Like she's having a good time. I mean, again, just her living there by herself, like whatever. So I was a little awkward, but like at the same time, I was like, cool. So I went down, I got the pool brush, and I went to go, try to dig it out because I was like, that's gonna look weird in the pictures. Um, and lo and behold, believe it or not, she actually had it a red bikini mosaic tiled into the bottom of her pool. It was not going anywhere. So she had a little bit of a spunk to her, which was kind of fun. So I uh, I admitted to her that I was doing that, and we all had a good laugh. It was fun.
That's fantastic. I love that story.
Yeah,
Definitely unique experiences that come your way in this kind of career.
absolutely.
I love it. So, outside of real estate, what do you like to do for fun?
Well, I'm sitting here in my backyard, and this is our fun zone, if you will. I could move the camera and show you all the angles, but bottom line is I have 4 kids. They're, as of the filming of the video, they're all under the age of 8. So
Wow.
8, 6, 5, and 2. So I am in the thick of doing the dad stuff. We've got a pool right over here. You see a soccer goal maybe over my
Yeah.
shoulder, trampolines, that kind of thing. So I'm just out here all the time playing with my kiddos. They're involved in sports and horseback riding. So watching them go play soccer and football, that kind of thing. So that's pretty much what I do. And then we've got a pretty good social circle of friends that we have come over and play here, play at their house. I've gotten into pickleball lately, so I don't know if I want to admit that or not, but it's been fun for some of us guys to play.
That's
Oh, and
awesome.
then also we do like to travel too when we can. Again, I don't know when you're watching this video, but haven't been able to do so much of that lately. We've got a couple friends that have cabins up in northern Arizona, which is
Mm.
awesome to get out of the heat at any time of the year. And then I've got family back in the Midwest, and then we've got family up in Oregon too that we try to go both directions at least once a year.
Amazing. Well, fingers crossed, lots of travel coming in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, what is it that you love most about the Ocotillo area?
Yeah, so my wife and I kind of fell in love with this years ago. We lived in another part of Chandler, and then this just kept on gravitating towards this area. And obviously, we live here, which is a big part of it. But the reason we fell in love with it is it's super convenient to the entire valley. I mean, we're based, at the intersection of the 101 and the 202 freeway ecosystem. I mean, it's minutes to you name it, Costco, the mall, movie theaters, any restaurant you can imagine. So just the convenience to the kids' schools. And then I lived in Scottsdale. I don't know if I should say this or not, but I lived in Scottsdale for a long time. Super beautiful up there. But this had a Scottsdale vibe to it as far as like the cleanliness, the tree lined medians, like just really well laid out plans, urban development, urban planning, and without the prices of Scottsdale. So it's got a good vibe to it. And there's just a ton of great people and great local businesses here as well.
Amazing. Well, that local businesses is really what we will kind of finish off with this. You've
Yeah,
sponsored this group of local community websites that are all about supporting small business, shopping local. So,
sure.
why is that something that's so important to you? Like, why do you think it's so important that we do support the business professionals in our area?
Well, as a small business owner myself, I like to support my brothers and sisters in arms, if you will. And there's so much noise out there with mega corporations and national brands, which I get. They've got some more dollars to put behind that. But us little guys, if you will, have some great products, great services, great customer service, that kind of thing. And I just really like to see local businesses thrive because it's not just about buying that guy his next, third, fourth, investment or vacation property. It's about putting the little kid in soccer, like what I'm doing for my kids. So
Yeah.
I like to support the local community because again, their restaurants are awesome. Their local businesses are awesome to work with. And I've always found just the customer service, like when you actually get to know and weave yourself into the community, like you start to connect the dots even further, like, oh, so and so, so and so, like, and then you tell your friends about so and they know so and it just it envelops you into the local community. And it just feels like the right thing to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think when we talked about earlier about having trust in an agent, it's also really helpful to have a real estate agent that has a contact in all these different industries. So you know someone to go to if you need a referral for other things. So that's really, really wonderful that you're so truly connected to the community.
Yeah, and I mean, and I wanted to add on this too is like, I am involved with the Chandler Chamber of Commerce, and I go on all these bus tours to learn about the area, and I talk to the business owners. It's like, hey, Oren, what's going in next door to you? And he's like, oh, that's going to be a smoothie bar. It's like, oh, cool. Like, so now I can go tell people, or like, hey, what are they doing with that, huge building? Like, oh, Walgreens just brought in 500 pharmacists. Like, you think that's going to affect the values of homes in our neighborhood if 500 pharmacists just drop in next door? It's like, yeah, it will. So like, you
Yeah,
don't learn about that unless you're weaved into
totally.
networking and talking.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great. Well,
Yeah,
it definitely sounds like you're very passionate about your community. And I think your community is blessed to have someone to help be an advocate for these small businesses. So we appreciate you being a part of our community as well.
sure, absolutely.
Wonderful. Well, it was so great getting to know you today. Thank you so much for taking the time. Once again, this was Ben Graham, real estate agent with Graham Group. Be sure to check out his local community websites. And if you have a small business and you would like to be featured, be sure to reach out to him today. Thanks again for your time today, Ben.
Take care.